I know that you can't teach character, but how are you developing a stronger mentality throughout your people?
First and foremost, you don't teach it as much as you show it. Mentality is caught. If you've ever been on a high-performing team that had a really badass coach, you know this. It's like the coach elevates everybody's mentality by what they tolerate and what they don't tolerate and how they show up to the party. Great leaders, their mentalities are infectious to their people in such a way that you can tell who the leader is by how their people show up. How they dress, how they talk, how they behave, what they value, which is why it's really important who you fucking get your advice from and who you emulate. I would humbly suggest, do not get advice from people who are not living the life you want, right? If you want advice on how to be financially free or wealthy, do not get advice from poor people. If you want to be physically fit, don't get advice from people who aren't physically fit. If you want to have great relationships, don't get advice from a dude that's been divorced 4 times, unless you're literally trying to figure out what not to do. Then it's like, okay, just walk me through how you got divorced 4 times. What are you doing? Now, does that mean the poor person doesn't know how to get wealthy? They might know, they just don't know. The person who is not physically fit, does that mean that they don't know how to get physically fit? They may know, they just don't know. So how could you have conviction, 1, about what you are teaching, and 2, believing what they're saying? How could you know that what they're saying is true? It's the easiest way to know. So if somebody hasn't got it, they haven't achieved it, what the fuck? Now this may seem obvious, but do you know how many people get advice from the wrong people? It's most of humanity. Who do we normally get advice from? Our social circle. Now, if we love our social circle and we don't need it to grow and it's perfect just the way it is and you're happy with your life, great. Keep getting advice from your social circle. But if they aren't where you want to be and they don't have the life you want, I would suggest you get advice from people who have what you want. We are creating extreme wealth in the world right now. There has never been a time where there is more wealth available to more people. And it is accumulating to the top fucking 10%, 2%, 1%, 0.5%. And some may go, this is a huge problem. And in some ways, I agree it's a huge problem. The difference between the extremely wealthy people and the people who are not is not nearly as much privilege as it is education. There is a language to money in business that poor people just don't get. They don't understand, right? So there's a lot of hate right now as an example for billionaires. I love this one. And the billionaire conversation, just like an enormous amount of people believe that billionaires are making billions of dollars a year. In other words, like it's income. Why would they think that? How do they look at money? Through their lens. Talking about subjectivity earlier. How is money in their world? It's income. That's all they know of money. Billionaires do not make billions of dollars in income. That would be fucking stupid. They own billions of dollars of assets, typically stock, and typically whose stock? Their fucking stock. The stock of the company that they founded and built. And so you'll hear these comments, well, if we just took all their money away, everything would be better. Like, let me help you, fuckstick. You could take all of the money from all of the wealthiest top 5% and it would not even pay for our goddamn debt. That isn't the answer, as an example. Make sense? So, but if you could understand, instead of like take their money away, well, how did they do what they did, right? So another thing you're hearing a lot about right now is people like, well, the money should be divided among everybody who helped build that company. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Do you know how many millionaires were made in Nvidia? Which that doesn't get talked about because that would be an unpopular example. Tons and tons of millionaires. Nvidia is a chip maker, I don't know. And they did give away ownership in their company and millions of people. At one point, Microsoft made more millions, had more millionaire secretaries than any company in the world. I know some of them, right? So to those guys, I would say, hey, build the company you want to work for. Don't bitch and say, take away everybody's money, change all this. No, motherfucker, get out of your bed, wipe off your crocodile tears, and go fucking do something with your life. Go build the company you want to work for. Show us that it works. But what does that take? It takes personal fucking responsibility. And you will find generally people who want to complain loathe personal responsibility. Those two are not generally compatible. You will not normally find people who run their mouth and complain who are also very personally responsible. They're incompatible. I think it's Benjamin Franklin that gets credit for the quote, but I'm sure it's been said many times over the millennia. I've met many a man that makes excuses and many that are successful, but I have not met many who do both. It's one or the other. That's mentality. Mentality is you do the best with what you have.